How's it going, gamers? Chongo here, and today I've got a gameplay commentary for you guys. The gameplay is of Injustice Gods Among Us on the PC, and today's commentary topic is going to be about sub fees and if they will ever die out. So anyway, let's get into it. So for those of you that don't know what a sub fee is or a subscription fee, it's where you pay a certain amount a month to gain access to a service or a game. Now, in the context of this commentary, I'm talking about games, so sort of MMOs where you pay a certain amount a month and you can have access to the game. I'm not talking about like access to PlayStation Network or Xbox Live, how they've done that now, we have to pay monthly or anything like that to play games online. But basically, I wanted to do this video, and I suppose some people could say it's a bit odd of me considering I don't really pay to play MMOs. I don't really play many MMOs as is, but that's mainly because of the sub fee. That's what sort of holds me back from wanting to get into some, when I kind of think that I'm going to have to pay, you know, $15 a month to play a certain game after I've already bought the game. And there seems to be this recent trend of game after game going free to play after failing to get a certain amount of subscriptions a month, and developers, or publishers rather, keep going through and implementing a sub fee in their game when it might be better of them just to start up some sort of microtransaction thing for cosmetics in the game, as opposed to trying to start with a sub. Because when you say you've got a subscription in your game, it sort of hurts the fan base. There's a large amount of people who would want to play your game, but they don't want to pay monthly for it. They'd rather pay upfront a certain amount and then they get to play the game whenever they want. So that's the problem that I think many of these games are facing, and when I see a really good MMO, if it says, oh, you've got to pay a certain amount a month, it sort of pulls me off it. It has to be a really interesting MMO that it would really pull me in to keep wanting to pay monthly for it. So an example of this would be the Elder Scrolls Online, which is meant to be coming out, I think, April 4th on PC and a couple months later on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Now, I was kind of interested in this game because it sounded interesting and it would be a good game to play with your friends, because I've always thought Elder Scrolls would be awesome if you did have someone else to play it with, and an MMO aspect of it may work out quite well. And then they announced that it was going to be $15 a month subscription fee after the first month, because every copy of the game comes with a free month. Now, I saw so many fans turn on this game. Like, every single video I saw of Elder Scrolls before this point was likes, and everyone was talking about how excited they were for the game. And as soon as the sub fee was announced, everyone was disliking the videos, saying, oh, stuff paying a subscription fee and all this kind of stuff. Even videos that weren't about the subscription fee, just about the game itself. And it seems to be what happened with the Xbox One. How now, if you go to any Xbox One videos from like a news YouTube channel or anything like that, it's got a massive amount of dislikes just because people don't like what Microsoft tried to do. So this is what I'm seeing with the Elder Scrolls Online. So it seems like sub fees seem to come with this really extreme negative connotations now. And I kind of think that this backlash for having a pay for the Elder Scrolls Online is kind of deserved, considering they are launching on an Xbox One and the PlayStation platform. So it seems a little bit ridiculous for these people to pay to play online and then to pay again to access this certain game. And I think it's going to hurt their sales, especially on consoles. I don't think it's going to hurt sales too much on PC, considering most people sort of thought this was going to be a sub base. They didn't really want it to be a subscription fee, but that's just what has happened. Now, the main problem I've got with a monthly fee for a game is that it needs to be bringing in brand new content each month that is worth me paying $15 a month for. Otherwise, it seems a little bit unfair that I've already paid a certain amount. So take Elder Scrolls Online, for example. You pay $60 up front for the game and then $15 a month after the first month. I think it's a bit unfair that basically means that after the first month, if I don't wish to pay, my $60 is pretty much accounted for 1 month. That was it. I never got to play the game again because I don't want to put any more money into the game. Now, I think that's a bit unfair, considering, you know, unless they're giving me really good content every month, which most games can't seem to be able to do, because a month is a really short span when creating new content. I mean, think about DLC. Sometimes you do see day one DLC, but that's because they were working on it, you know, 2 months after the game was finished and going to mass production. So you might see some content straight away, but then there's going to be a gap of 2 to 3 months, and you're still paying a certain amount, so $15 a month for new content that may not actually be there for a couple of months. I think that's why we see a lot of MMOs go free to play after a couple of months, because they're not getting enough subscriptions, so therefore they have to find another way that they're going to make money, because no one's continuing to pay for the game. So they get some microtransaction store in, make it free to play, so more people will buy the game and get into it. So I think more games should see if they can adopt a way that you're no longer paying a sub fee, but you pay for maybe some extra content or extra stuff in game or bonuses or anything like that, because that's going to work better than, you know, a certain sub fee, because that's going to put people off the game. So for example, EverQuest Next, which I've talked about before and I'm sure most of you know about, basically is going to start as free to play. So once you buy the game, you've got it and you can play it, but they're going to maybe implement pay to play down the line. They're not sure. They're going to see how long they can go for. So I think that's a good idea to at least give it a go, and you never know. Once you start off with a game that isn't going to cost people money in the beginning, you might get enough sales that you can just, be going off the sales to create new content and then charge people for DLC or anything like that. Anyway, this brings me out of my commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, and if you've got any comments, put them down below. And if you want to join the Gamerhood, just subscribe. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.